I'm really just up because I need somebody to talk to. Like, this single mom shit is starting to get to me. Okay? It's starting to get to me. So I had to compose myself because I'm literally keep crying. Like, y'all, this shit is so fucking hard. Every time I feel like I'm doing good, I go back. Okay. So boom. Okay. My kids' daycare, I just got school readiness, like assistance to help, right? So they helping me, and then turn around, like, okay, before that, fuck all that. Before that, I ain't paid my rent. Like, my rent ain't even paid. It still ain't paid. And I was like,
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the DeMarkco effect, where you get the full effect of me. Now, one thing that I want to put in perspective here is, so for a lot of people, right, and for women, it seems as though y'all have been tricked into thinking that being a single mom, or, there is power and just going around and having a quote unquote, whole phase or whatnot, and y'all kind of been tricked into that reality, right? And the worst part about her comment sections is you have a lot of people still saying, "Yeah, you go, girl. You doing the best that you can." But she's admitting, that being a single mom is not where it's at all. Like, somebody would tell them the truth and people will still ignore it. Okay, I just wanted to let that be known, but also leave a like for the algorithm. It is free. It doesn't cost anything.
asking my daycare, like, oh, basically, like, oh, can y'all work with me so I can pay my rent and I can pay y'all like next week? No, if y'all don't pay, they can't come on some shit. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So I had no choice but to pay the fucking daycare, or they couldn't go to school because guess why? Guess what? I have to fucking work. Okay, I make $20 fucking dollars, and I'm raising 3 kids. So $20 for 4 people, $20 an hour for 4 people. That's not enough. Okay, it's not fucking enough. So the school's like, oh, you can either pay the 156 or they can't go. So I paid the 156, and now my rent late. So now I gotta pay like 19 fucking $100.
Wait, so her rent is $1,900. She's a single mom with 3 kids. Okay.
For my fucking rent, right? Okay, so now I'm paying the rent late. I'm gonna pay it Friday, and here they go with this New Year's registration fee or some bullshit like that. And keep in mind, I just paid the 156, so that's the weekly school registration that I pay with, like the fucking with the school readiness assistance. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so I get to their daycare this morning, and they're like, "Oh, did you know, like, you didn't pay the New Year renewal fee or some shit like that?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, how much is that, y'all? $200 something for Rylan, and then like 100 something. They're asking me next week to pay almost 400. No. It is $400 because 156 weekly. That's what I pay, and then they're asking me to pay over that. So 2 plus, that's almost that's 400.
She don't even know the math that she even trying to put up. She said 156 and $200. That's $356. She's complaining about being an adult. But this is why I tell people, don't have kids out of wedlock, because it don't end well. Statistically proven, it doesn't end well. You struggle. A lot of people struggle, especially single mothers. The fact that she got 3 of them, and she has, I think she said one of them is in daycare, which means she has a younger kid, and then she has maybe 2 older kids, I believe. I mean, maybe she'll say that in the video, but a lot of people struggle, and they struggle with adult things. You can't be an adult and struggle. I mean, you can't be an adult and complain about the reality of being an adult, which is a responsibility. If you're gonna have your kid in daycare, pay for daycare. If you're gonna pay rent, pay rent, don't have no expensive apartment, because that apartment, she said, was $1,900, the place that she live in. That's a lot of money.
$100 and something that they asking me to pay next week. It's like $478. And I was asking them, like, is there any way that I can make a payment plan? Because, babes, I can't afford that. If I'm on school readiness, why the fuck you think I can afford that? Right? Okay, so boom.
She's looking at it like
I'm
she's the
asking,
victim of the
like,
situation.
my two older kids, they have a dad. And then Riley, my little one, has a dad. Their dad paid child support. So I don't have to, worry about it. Like, I use his money strictly for the kids. Like, I put it straight towards her, her tuition and shit like that. It ain't no money. Like, it ain't no more. Like, it was only enough to pay for her shit. If I would have been, some shit, and I would have paid. I put it straight towards her. They have a dad. And then, why the fuck you think I can afford that? Right? Okay, so boom. I'm asking, like, my two older kids, they have a dad. And then Riley, my little one, has a dad. Their dad paid child support. So I don't have to, worry about it. Like, I used.
Okay, the reason I paused it. So she said the two oldest kids have a dad and he helps out, and then the other one, the younger one, dad pays child support.
His money strictly for the kids. Like, I put it straight towards her, her tuition and shit like that. It ain't no money. Like, it ain't no more. Like, it was only enough to pay for her shit. If I would have been, some shit, and I would have paid Ryland's on with their dad money, and I wouldn't have cared. But I can't, because there's nothing. So I asked her dad, like, oh, can you help me? Like, can you help me? Y'all, keep in mind, this nigga wanted the baby. Like, keep in mind, this nigga had my ovulation tracking his phone. Keep in mind, this nigga planned to get me pregnant. Like, he planned to get me pregnant, knowing I didn't want a third child, because I was already, like, it was not hard, but it was going to be hard if I had another kid. Like, I knew I wouldn't be able to afford having 3 kids. And guess what? I had a third kid. Okay, y'all gonna be like, oh, you should use protection, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all opinions. Y'all not me. Y'all don't know the fucking life I live. I don't give a fuck. So, I don't care. I don't care. So, I asked him for help, and he's asked every fucking excuse. Y'all, keep in mind, I was struggling last year. Like, it was like one point of last year I was struggling. I didn't get none of my taxes. The girl ran off. Like, the girl who's supposed to be my best friend, she took the money. I don't know if she took it or somebody took it, but I don't have it. And so I told him to file our daughter, because me and him was on good terms. Like, I thought we was. So I asked him, like, oh, to file her. He like, okay, cool, this, that, and third. He files our daughter, y'all. Tell me why he filed her. Months go by, and I'm not hearing nothing, like, no money. Like, he's knowing I need it because I can't afford this apartment, because this apartment is like $1,700. And he like, oh, when I get it, I'm gonna give it to you. It was like, he got back like almost $4,000 for her, y'all. He don't work. So when the money came, he threw it up in my face and laughed and told me that he wasn't giving it to me, and he used it for drugs. Like, he used it for money for himself and shit like that. Y'all, not one time last year, maybe one time, but he never fucking helped for her daycare. He never fucking, he is a diaper and white dad. That's what type of nigga.
So, okay. This is what I want to say. So she planned to have kids with a guy that she wasn't married to, that wasn't working. That doesn't make sense. So she planned to have a kid with a guy that didn't plan on marrying her, that also, in her quote, in her book, in her words, don't got a job and don't do nothing for his kid. I don't know why people go on the internet and make themselves look even worse than they already look. Because first of all, you look back coming on the internet telling people that you know not paying your rent, and complaining about daycare with your kids. And understand this, y'all. Understand one thing. When somebody posts a video on the internet, it's going to be perceived by people how it gets perceived by people. So the judgment that comes from the videos, they can't be mad about. And that's something that people have to understand. So even when you watching my video or anybody else's video, you have to understand people have their perspectives and their opinions. Just like y'all gonna have y'all's in the comment section after I say exactly what I say. Happens all the time. But the fact that she comes on the internet and she posts this and she explains how both of the dads ain't even helping her out, quote unquote. She said one of them is sending her money for child support, but still, he's not with you. He had 2 kids by you and wasn't with you. So he had 2 kids with you, left. The second guy had 1 kid with you, planted, and left. And is not supporting you. This is why I tell people when it comes to relationships, y'all have to stop valuing sex so much, because that's what makes y'all create babies, and y'all create a lot of problems from the babies, and the babies, they have to grow up with parents that don't have it together. And it's the saddest reality. Other than that, make sure to leave a like for the algorithm. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Have a good evening, good day, good night, good morning, wherever y'all at. If y'all are subscribed, turn on the notification bell. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. I'm not telling you what to do, but I recommend you watching a little more videos about the content before you do that. But other than that, I'll see y'all.